There's a bit of George Benson as we talk to Peter Hitchener, about 40 years at Channel 9 and a career even before that. The news stories across the years, the decades, Pete,
Yes,
the ones that stay with you.
Lots of stories that the sad ones, of course. The Black Saturday bushfires. That's a story you can't forget about because it's something that touched all of us in Melbourne, all of us in Victoria, especially with the passing of both of us, our former friend and colleague Brian and Moiree. And there've been many other stories along the way. I think it's the 20th anniversary of Ash Wednesday coming up soon. There's all sorts of stories we've covered that you don't forget, but of course there's plenty of good stories too. You get to talk about the Olympics and our achievements in the Olympics and the grand finals. Sadly, in my time at Channel 9, I haven't yet been able to report on a St Kilda grand final
for the wrong team.
Exactly, and the trouble is, I may not live long enough to be able to report on it.
No, I want to interview you on your 50th year, which means I'll still be working and you'll still be working.
Somewhere, anyway, yes. And look, of course, there's also other great stories, like animal stories. The zoo. There's a constant stream of new celebrity animals at the zoo. So whether it's Missouri or Yukini or Marley the elephant or her new baby brother, I don't know. But there's always something great to report about, as well as the serious stories. So we do try to have a mix of everything, so that you really get a coverage of everything that's been going on.
And as we're sitting here, this awful drama that continues in Queensland and Bundaberg and south of the big Queensland border, the flooding.
Dreadful. And of course, having started off in Queensland, I can remember reporting on cyclones and cyclone floods, back in the 70s, back in the 60s. So these things sadly are part of life up there. But our job is just to be there, let people know what's going on, not take sides, not tell people who to vote for or what to think, but just tell them what's happening.
I didn't think you would ever move from paper pull-through auto cue to electronic, because you heard of all the dramas I had in the regional news.
Exactly, and I knew about that. So when we moved from Bendigo Street in Richmond into Docklands, and they said, you're not going to have a paper pull-through prompter anymore, we're going to do it, it's going to be a computer prompter, and the good thing is this one can't crash. And it took a week. And there I am sitting up like Mr. Magoo without my glasses, trying to read the news, trying to make out what it was saying.
And wishing you had longer arms. Yes. But generally they don't crash.
No, they don't. And look, the wonderful thing is news has changed so much, but what we're trying to do hasn't. We're trying to let people know what's going on, and that's what we do. But we're part of now of the social media online scene, and that is wonderful too. That's really revolutionised news. It's so fantastic to be able to pick up stories from anywhere, including many times on Twitter.
And that is the thing. I was thinking about it the other night while I was watching 9 News. Is no matter what the immediacy is of what happens, and people go to 3rw.com.au. They still want to hear their news, like a bit of a wrap up of the day from someone trusted as you have.
Oh well, thank you.
As you've become, and Livinia and Tony and the team, it works a treat.
It does, and even last night when they were evacuating Southern Cross Station, we came racing out, the producer Matt Conway and myself, with iPads in hand and iPhones to get pictures of it. So it's one of those things. We hopefully keep providing a service to people.
On to the next 40 years.
Oh, not 40, but maybe one more year. I don't know, or 2 or 3 or 4, who knows.
Peter Hitchener, thank you.
Thanks, Denis. Take care.
As we close the Red Book on Peter Hitchener, this is your career. Karen Inge and Nutrition after the news.